Today we'll be visiting Marçon. Quite a bit shy each time trying to turn these videos, but let's see what we can film. Here's the church. Marçon is quite a small little village in the middle of nowhere in France. Fun little story. I went inside. I was hoping I could film, but there was actually someone at the entrance. So, given that I wasn't quite sure if we were allowed or not, I just went in and had a look. It does look quite nice over there, but we will actually not be walking there as it's not on the schedule. That is something that we're quite lucky to have in the French countryside. It's actually mostly peaceful, and we can get out to the cities pretty easily and have a bit of resting time. Got the wines on the right, and we've got a pretty nice view on the left. By the way, I wanted to say that this is actually something that's quite crazy, because I put the first video up last week and I was like, just for fun, and I was planning on doing all these things, but more to be able to create something and become a bit better. But there's actually some of you that have already seen the video, so that's actually fun. I don't know how that happens. Someone even dropped a like and I was like, how come? Like, it's just a small video where I took it in one shot, but it was actually something quite nice. Something that made me feel like, yes, at least I did something. I spent a nice day, and it motivated me to carry on and make better videos each time. This time, to make the video a bit better, I'm going to have to try and find out how I can put more than one video together, because that is actually a bit more tricky than I expected. So, let's see how this happens. Looks like there's a trap on the path. Always loved these little paths among the forest. Feels really cozy and adventurous. Well, at least walking around here, I won't be dying of hunger. Blueberries. It's actually pretty warm here, so shadows from the tree is a big plus. So I was kind of hesitating, but I have just stumbled to what looks like a sort of abandoned place. Looks like the grass isn't cut. We're a bit lost. But the windows still look sort of alright. And all the doors are locked. So maybe I won't jump in. Because they do have a few things that look interesting, but probably safer not to go. Maybe another time. There is a lot of fun stuff around here. Because I was like just walking, like, hey, what's along these paths? And it's actually homes that are already over there. Makes you want to go and see them. So, short break, because goûter time, and I was in the shadow for a while, but doesn't seem there's actually that much afterwards. Small cake from Leclerc with water and soda. Currently I've been using this sunscreen and it's actually been awesome. Like, really easy to spray, really light on the skin and protects really, really well. But still got to put it like every 2 hours when I'm like in this direct sun. Not gonna lie, it's getting quite hot out here. So being able to go into the lake later on is going to be like awesome. Just realized I was like filming in 30 frames per second, so don't be surprised if you see that I'm going finally back to 60 seconds on the main camera. Still a bit of wine growing over there and a lot of fields around here, so not much shade to get behind except these huge trees that are like in the middle of nowhere. These are like really gorgeous roads that you wouldn't enjoy as much if people wouldn't say you can actually walk around here. I was actually supposed to do this walk this morning, but I didn't sleep well at all. Went to bed and then had those little, how do you call them already? Not bees, but little insects flying around in my room. And it was going bzz, 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 and no way I was getting to sleep, so I got up, started planning a bit of my month of August, and hang on a minute, just look at that. Makes you think we're a bit in a fairy tale like this. So I got up, planned my August month, and then went back to bed around 3 AM. And at that stage I was like, well, might as well put my alarm clock around 11-12. So then I wasn't tired and then I'd get here this afternoon. Given that I was tidying my room, I lost my wallet in my room. And that took a bit of time off, so here we are, right when it's really sunny. But I really wanted to film this today because I want to try and get to that one video a week for a year, so here we are. And it means that going into the lake afterwards will be so much more refreshing. But one good thing is, I haven't crossed a single person walking this path. I'll put the map of the routes, well, I'll try to, maybe beginning or at the end of this video. So if anybody wants to come around here, don't hesitate to look at it and enjoy the place. Don't really know what this is, but it's there. Beginning I thought it was like flour or something, but apparently it isn't. Can't remember the name of these in English, but they're called tournesol in French. Sometimes when we were kids we used to run through them sometimes. Wasn't expecting it, but probably the first animal I've crossed. And looks like a rabbit. Probably will run away when I get to it. Well, there we are. And I won't be running after it. Well, here's the second animal that we crossed. Chickens. And they actually ran out straight to see me when I arrived. I wasn't expecting to see them. So I was actually searching for this sign. Here's Marçon, the name of the little village. And don't know if you can see from here, but seems there's a horse or a pony over there. Won't be going over there because that's probably a private property. And we are back in the city centre. Pretty hard to see but behind the cars. It's the only restaurant in town, I think. And in front, the church. Let's just go and see what that statue is over there. So this statue for all the kids that died during the First World War. Just arrived in Marçon, in the lake, and I'll go and grab an ice cream before I have a walk around and swim a bit. Well, here we go for the little trip around the lake. Over there, as we can see, they got a few boats we can rent to go onto the lake. We won't be doing it today because we're a bit late. I don't exactly know what time it closes, but plus it's actually a lot more fun when there's more than one person on it. So we'll be walking around and then we'll go and have a little swim. So this is actually a real place of paradise. The water is like really nice and warm. Nothing inside it, just sand. Sorry, I've never really been interested in having a boat before, but as I grow a bit older, maybe could be interesting to go with friends out. I don't think I'd like to own a boat, but probably having my driving license for boats would be interesting, because then we could go out with friends and rent some a bit now and then, because afterwards when you've got a boat you've got to keep it somewhere, take care of it, have it in a good state, whereas when you rent it you can just go wherever you want and use the boats that are already there. So, and change boats sometimes, that's cool too. I was just walking around and look what I found. The pony club. Still not sure if those are ponies or horses. From quite far away. It's called the Pony Club. Grass is all yellow from the burning. We've had like really hot weather in France. Quite a lot of burning southwest near the beach at Biscarrosse. If you ever see any of those videos, it looks like hell. Burning, horses running, fire everywhere, evacuation. And it's quite surprising that we can't master these fires even in France with all the firemen that we have, all their equipment. We are a developed country, and if it can get to us like that, what happens in countries where they don't have all the equipment? It's really something that's pretty scary when you look at it. And I think French people have to be more aware and take more care of their environment. I just saw a small bird dive. But it's clearly not here anymore, because it was catching fish. And just when I said that it wasn't here anymore, I can see it in real life, but I can't see it on the camera. Yes, here we are. There he is, having a lot of fun with his fish. And going back. Currently, I've looked up a bit this week on the professional side too. So I've looked and tried to think what I could do next year. So I think I'll get to try and finish my accounting degree, because I passed most of the tests. There's like 2 or 3 tests I still need to go. They're amongst the easiest, take a bit of time, but they are important. And if I finish it, I would get like, well, it's called a license in French, but it's like 3 years after the baccalaureate. So I think I'm going to try and put myself onto that first. Sorry about the lighting. Let's try and get back to the shade. So that's on one side, and I can still pass it in June next year. But I'm probably going to have to try and find some kind of, I think it's like 2 months job experience. So I'm probably going to try and find that first in France. Probably important. I'm quite red. I have been putting sun cream, but maybe not enough, or I've been too much exposed to try and find some kind of cream. Plus I've asked, in France when you currently have no job, you can sort of get a bit of money the time you find a new job, so I've asked for that to see if I could get anything. Maybe I'll be able to get like 500 quid, which would be quite a lot and really helpful. It means that I could sort of carry on searching for a job and carry on traveling a bit and seeing friends and going out a bit at the same time. Whereas if I don't get that, I will be stuck at home. I'll still be able to make videos, but like really short, and August will be pretty hard. But that's the fun. So I'm currently haven't got much. I'm like basically at zero currently, because the last bucks I've got on my account is like already booked for something, because a friend is coming home for the weekend, so I have to stay there. So there we are. I'm a bit lost now in what I said. Got the main meaning. So there we are. Oh, and last thing while I'm walking, I've tried to get my room a bit more organized, because it's not practical for filming or anything like that, because it's more a place where I've got all my stuff, but it's like a small room and there's other people's stuff in it, and like there's not enough storage inside it, so I'm going to try and throw stuff out, try and get to organize it and make somewhere where I can actually work and plan stuff ahead. So there we are. That started. So a few things have gone well this week, so the beginning of good stuff. That's a fun little car. So, just finished my rounds. Time to get changed and enjoy the beach a bit. All changed. I'm knackered, but that might be because of the sun. I feel a bit burnt, because there has been quite a bit of walking, but usually I don't get tired that quickly, but maybe I do. Alright, time to enjoy a bit the swimming. Here we are, all put in place. So I think the slide is closed because it usually opens only when the lifeguards are here. Time to enjoy it. Well, this certainly feels like paradise. I am literally the last person on the beach. There are people eating and a few people up there, but I have basically got this lake all to myself. There we are. So I was going to film this video on the beach, but there was like this old person right next door, and she was like with the loud phone and all that, so I was like, maybe try and get a bit further. I've been this book at the end. Adaban, or maybe Adabana. Can't remember. But extremely good book from Non. I'll talk maybe more about it in another video once I get a bit more knowledge on it, but I think there's like 3 volumes, so it shouldn't take too long. Anyway, thank you to anyone who's watched this, and I've had fun filming it. Hopefully I get it up in a good state, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye!